Okay, hi everybody. Let me put Really on mute for just a moment. Let me just put him on mute for just a second so that we can hear ourselves, and I'll get my earbuds on too, if you guys don't mind. But if you're coming to the stream for the very first time, I've started off this morning showing you runreally.bat. You must head to his stream at runreally.bat. He's on his second series of 7 solid days of broadcasting on YouTube. And you must listen to the story, the intention, the vision. It is, as I maybe too much say, it's off the chain. It's off the chain, people. It really is. So I want to make sure that he gets my early shout out while I'm doing my setup, and then we'll go right into the chat too. But I wanted you guys to kind of see how it's all set up, and you'll see the crawler up above. What I'm for me anyway, as a professional person, this is him kind of gaining and building content creators that are kind of part of what's called a syndication or a franchise. And that's just, you know, like a professional way of looking at it. For him, these are just people that he connects with, he resonates with, and thank God, you know, I found him, and I found him in a very odd way of some drama that was going on YouTube. It was ballistic and viral in nature. And, you know, so I was just looking at more live content, and there was this love bug. Unreal. So cool. And if you want to be inspired, right, which is something that you may not get from my content, you must run over. It's now being called the MX4. We joke around, you know, that it'll go MX5 and 6 and MX Life. And what that means is that it's multi this, multi that. And of course, the part that he's in right now is how far can we go with multi-streaming, not just using OBS, but how far can our hearts, our brains, our creativity, our need for each other, our wish and desires for one another, how far can you take this, right? So for me and my family, I'm just calling it MX Life, you know? I'm part of MX Life in real time, and wow, I mean, it's just, for me and for someone like me, this has been a marvel. Okay, so I'll get right into my charts in just a moment, but you definitely want to go to runreally.bat. I can't tell you, oh yeah, right, right now we're in the 49th hour. You'll see the broadcasting timer up there on the left. If you had watched him or the last series, I'm just calling these series, because I think he's probably going to have to come down every once in a while to do maintenance and so forth. But once YouTube gets a feel of this, I really think he's going to end up being featured. He's very sensitive to kind of the nature and the good-naturedness, but yet he's allowing us to be, you know, free with our thoughts, and, you know, we're not being over moderated. And if you can believe it, he gave BeautyBubble a wrench, people. He gave me a wrench. So I've never been given a wrench, and everybody knows why. Because I get banned from everywhere I go, everywhere. And it has more to do with my, you know, tone of voice. I'm considered condescending and rude, and this is just because of my living in life. That's all. It has nothing to do with how I've mistreated people in my life or anything of that nature. It's just part of my story. I try to work on it as best I can, but, you know, at some point you have to kind of rest in your own deal. And I just think that it's just, you know, I told him, you don't want to give me a wrench, you know, 'cause but he has, and I told him, you know, well, you know, if he has to take it from me or he has to clean house, you know, that maybe, you know, he should think about that. I don't have to have the wrench, but it has been very convenient because you can drop links and now I can share my charts a little bit more easily, and it's just been marvelous. So let's go ahead. Speaking of the charts, let's get over to the chart. There are going to be a couple of charts of the day. Of course, we can't not show, and we will head over to the Bitcoin chart, and that will load in just a moment, really. And then we can start. I'll leave it on that so that we can play around with the feed. And then the problem is, of course, now is that I can't see what you're doing on your channel. So I have to work that out, because that kind of sucks. Because I can't see how things look on your end. How should we do that? Because yesterday I was working on the application window. So on the Mac, what I do in the Hangout is that it gives you two windows. It gives you your browser window and then your application window, I believe. So let me see if I can just fiddle with a couple of things. Let me come back over to your stream because of the delay and see where we're at. I see, got it. Got it. All right, so that looks pretty good, doesn't it? That looks pretty good. Except for it's a little too collagey now. You know what I'm saying by that? And I know that in my experience, keeping things pristine always is the better way for the broadcaster. Keeping things pristine, and what I mean by that, I'll write this out in your own chat. What I mean by that is that we don't get too, remember, I'm not telling you really what to do, right? I'm just opening up. It's called opening up your throat chakra. And so when things get too busy, people have a hard time focusing. You guys as gamers are used to this, right? You're super used to it. However, when we're looking at a wider audience, they will rely on there being some sort of clarity in the frame. And also, of course, out on YouTube, when you're looking at the YouTube landing page for discovery, people do, even in the back of their mind, they're looking for supremacy, of things being just pristine, just lovely, clean, and all sorts of, ideas like that. So let's see what we can do. I know he's probably telling me all sorts of cool stuff about beauty, do this, beauty, do that. And of course, we're just in hand signal mode because if I bring up his audio, it's going to probably confuse me a little bit. All right, so he's going to work on some things on his end, and let me just go ahead and go about my work. Thank you very much. If anybody wants to wave, really, if you can wave at me or sign me off with 2 thumbs up, then I'll go over, I'll just do my own content, and I won't worry so much about how I look on your stream. So just let me know. All right, so we're going to go to the chart of the moment. Chart of the moment is BTC USD, BTC USD. I should probably also open up my chat, shouldn't I? I should probably do that. Let me get, okay, let's see, what are we going to do here? This is my own chat. Now I need Really's chat. Except for what he wants me to do is if I change, let me get my link again so that I know. Get my link and then I will put it in the, so you guys, I'm just doing housekeeping right now. We'll just leave the chart up for a moment. Give me just a second to kind of sort this out. Okay, there's the Hangout. Here is the Hangout. Here's my link. And my link is this last bit of text at the end. I don't even know how many characters that is. And then I go into the pop out my pop out of yesterday, the chat of yesterday, and all I do is change that syntax. I'm not mistaken. Change that with this. Oh, it might not let me do it. Really? I don't think I can do it on the fly. Yeah, not too sure I can do it on the fly like that. I think I needed to do it earlier. Rats. Well, anyway, let's get through these charts, okay, instead of me mucking around a little bit here, so we can get this in the can and then work on a setup live in an hour or so. Okay, so the big chart in the room, the BTC USD, as some people call it, you know, the Mac Daddy. And what I want to do, we'll go ahead and do this as it should be done. We'll start off with a 4-hour chart. This is a 4-hour chart, a BTC USD. And you'll notice my markings. These are markings that are very widely, you know, I share them. I try not to, you know, be phony baloney on them. And I try to make my markings very clear as to what the thinking was. When I say potential breakout, it can mean break out to the upside or break down. Now, if I have said whether or not it was a short cross, it would mean that the trade had gone short. And of course, if it was a long cross, then I would try and make sure that you guys get the annotations. But I do need to let you know, oh, that's right, I need to read my disclaimer. Let me do that first. Let me read my disclaimer, something that you guys just enjoy so much. And where am I going to get it from? Why am I so confused today? I think it's because I'm worried that the stream is going to come across wrong on Really's channel. And you know what I probably need to do, Really? I'm going to go ahead and X out of your window. I'm going to go ahead and X out of your window so that I can bring up my own YouTube so that I can read the disclaimer. Put my own self on mute, and we are automatically on mute. I'll go ahead and say welcome to the chat. Get my chat going. Go ahead and pop out my chat. Do that right away. And bring that down so that I've got it for the archive. Okay, we'll scroll down. And this is my entire description. It's a big deal. All right, so welcome, everybody. This is BeautyBubble bringing you BabyPips.com. Learn cryptocurrency charting. What we're trying to do is bring the BabyPips.com education modules, which are highly recommended. I have shared their site with hundreds of traders. But what I realize is that those hundreds of traders were not coming back and letting me know that they had graduated from the BabyPips.com. And it's really heartbreaking because it's, you know, these are free lessons, and it's just like a short course, you know, and yet it's pretty, you know, it's pretty valid. The way that their terminology, but of course it's not cryptocurrency centric. So I think this is why some traders kind of fall off the rails, you know, they just don't stay with it. So the idea is for me to go through the excruciating live videos of reading the Baby Pips. And then after we're all done reading the coursework, that maybe we can crunch it down to some digestive YouTube videos that you will watch, right? Because they're cryptocurrency centric. And where I'm isolating it for cryptocurrency. So we'll see what happens. But generally, on all my social channels, I'm really a puree of beauty, technology, financial markets, fashion, and books. And you could categorize my outreach as trading well leads you to living well. Trading well leads you to living well. In this video, I'll walk you through BabyPips.com, Beginner's Guide to Forex Trading. That's what they call their site, with a special focus on cryptocurrency charting. This is a rapid fire run through of the course modules and how to navigate the site for maximum results. I am going to try and see where's a little bit of secret sauce inside of the BabyPips.com. At times the video may be in audio only or in pause for breaks for approximately like 10 to 15 minutes. And that's just so that I can kind of rethink my mind. I think we've gone 4 hours on a couple of them. A couple of them have been an hour long. So please expect that I'm not going to be chatty Cathy for the entire time. Getting to content value. This is a big deal with social marketers. You have to bring value to the people. So what I've decided to do is just let you know on a scale of 1 to 10, there's been no preparation or script written and the quality of production is very low. That's why I brought you over to Really's channel. Because if you want to see quality of production, you need to check him out and then check yourself in. Seriously. So for my outreach, the quality of the production is very low. So I prorated it or pre-rated it at a 2. And one reason is because there's just been no, I don't have a script. I don't have, I have like an idea of what we want to do with BabyPips. And there's been other things that I have an idea of. But what happens with me is that I become discouraged because it's just natural on YouTube. Then you're like, well, maybe if I had this, maybe if I had that, then that would work. But I know that that's all baloney. The bottom line is that you either like me and want to spend time with me or not. And I get that now. I get that so much better now. And so really the content itself is almost like a self journal. In a way, and if you happen to stumble across it, I'm forever grateful. We are now 200 subscribers after 7.5 years on YouTube. I have 200 subscribers. I'm over the moon about that because that's 7.5 years, 200 people with the amount of content that I've put out there. It really is an imbalance. But my feelings can't be hurt by that. You just have to keep powering through and use YouTube because it's, it's a marvel. It really, really is. There was someone on Twitter today that was saying, look at all the people, holding up Netflix and saying Netflix is all this and that. YouTube is the bomb, you guys. Yeah, they are the bosses of bringing you content continuously. You can give yourself a favor and open up a TweetDeck and type in YouTube or yu.tube.com and make a column for yourself. You will not be able to keep up with the amount of content that is coming into YouTube every second. It's really unreal. So really, for us to kind of stay here and keep building on it, I'm fine with that. So there is no affiliation with BabyPips.com or the charting interface that I use, TradingView.com. And none should be implied by reference or tone of my voice or even in the editing of this video, like the title and so forth. Should there be an affiliate relationship where commissions or promotional considerations are made to myself, the creator of the content, you, the viewer, will be made completely aware here in the description or through my voiceover and social channels that I frequent and post openly. I'll talk more about this too, maybe this week, about how it is that I came to know about FameBit, for example, and other relationships that have not been profitable whatsoever, but that I have, what is it called? Like I have a sign-in, but I don't have a relationship with, which a relationship is when you've been paid. That's how I look at that. There's my Bitcoin address, very typical for those of us that are in the crypto space. Disclaimer, please be advised. Here's the fast read, guys. Please be advised that all content in the charts shown is meant for entertainment and educational purposes only. Trading the stock, bond, currency, cryptocurrency, commodity, and futures markets can be rewarding, but is also risky. Be aware that you can lose money and in some ways lose more than you have. It can also be profitable, but not without significant risks. I always have to swallow right there. You are responsible for your own independent investment transactions. The charts shown are not to serve as an investment advisory service. I highly encourage you to seek professional advice in regard to your own financial decisions. Information you may get from any chart shown and its further discussion in chat rooms, green rooms, IRC, RBTC, other Bitcoin forums, other forums where I am not present may not reflect my opinions at the time. The charts shown and their content is not a solicitation, nor an offer for professional investment advice, nor is it an offer to buy or sell stocks, bonds, currencies, cryptocurrencies, commodities, and or futures. And if you hear my chimes, you will now know that it's the top of the hour. And how cool is that? And we are going to get right into it. Very, very cool. We got through all that. How nifty is that? Okay, so we'll go back over to the chart. We'll see where we're at, and I will walk you through. I'll check out my chat as well. I pop out from my own chat. And see, that's a thing. Have I lost your chat, really? That would be rats. Okay, because that's, I think that's yesterday's chat. Where's my pop out for today? Did I lose it? Oof, guys. Oh, here we go. Is it this one? Ah, yeah. There we go. I've got it. All right, so I've got my pop-out chat. All right, so BTC USD, Coinbase. I can type. And we are starting with, oh, we're back to 4,000. There we go. All right, most excellent. All right, so you start out with a big chart, big chart. These are 4-hour bars, big chart, and we'll zoom on in to see what happened. We've literally had a parabolic move. You can see the 4-hour, a parabolic move to the upside, a rest over 4 hours, which kind of freaked a few people out. And now wouldn't you know that the trade is now hammered up and we're trading again at 4,000. Let's zoom in the chart. We'll just do this like from 4-hour to 2-hour. See where the 2-hour is, if there's any anomalies in the last 2 hours as to how this played out. You'll see how the 51 EMA played out though and pumped us back up again. I'll share some of these things with you guys as we go on. All right, so of course we had reported that we had a potential interim top here. And what happened is that the resistance became support. Resistance became support. Support on the 96. And of course, as soon as we had a ruby cross, then the trade, as long as the trade holds the 8 EMA, we had some selling off here, which made total sense. And then of course the power moves. All right, that's the 2-hour. Let's move to the 1-hour. It's a more popular candle, especially for a lot of the alt currencies. They have a tendency to stay in the bigger candle, and that makes a lot of sense because sometimes the chart, even with Bitcoin, the chart can get a little dusty, right? You see how tiny these candles are in here. When you're thinking, oh no, this thing is moving. It's only when you have these more robust candles that it seems as though people don't think that the chart is boring. FYI too, there's nothing boring about anything that you're looking at, including the 1 minute. There's a lot of information that you can still get by showcasing the 1 minute and having the 1 minute on your, on your desktop. All right, we'll go into the 30 minute. I used to love this bar. When Bitcoin was, let's see if it's going to load for me. Doesn't look like it's going to, so I'll go into the 15 minute. Go into the 15 minute. What I was going to say about the 30 minute bar, when Bitcoin was in the like 370s, the 30 minute bar was a great read for me. It was just an easier read, and yet what I've found in the last 9 months or so is that the 15-minute bar is just an absolute necessity. This is why you'll often see me showcase the 15-minute bar. Okay. So in another forum, I had let them know that I was watching the 51 EMA. Even though we're on a 15-minute bar, this is a 51 EMA built on the 60-minute. So my script allows for me to do a more granular view, but anytime you see that pink line, this is the 51 exponential moving average, but the code is built on the 60-minute. So it's a real powerful EMA for me. I call it the money. It's where money wants to be interested, where money will come in to kind of save the day. And breaking the 51 can be pretty serious for Bitcoin. As you can see, though, I wish I had a timestamp of when I put it on the chart. Maybe I could go back over to my other forum and I'll let you guys know when I gave them the heads up. So, you know, we got the 51 saved, and this really is, it can be all sorts of different things. This could be where this was the left shoulder of the play that took us down, always to be expected off of the top. There's little things that you can learn about candle patterns and that sort of thing, and going through BabyPips. We'll be talking a lot more about why this particular formation up here could have given you a heads up, even though no one knows what's going to happen, that we might be looking at a pullback. So we get the save of the 51. We're now powering up, and this may end up being a left shoulder of a W pattern, if you've ever heard of a W pattern before. If it does not break the 8 and the 8 doesn't support the close, then this will pull back. It could retest the 51 or they're close. Or if we get what's called a deep right shoulder, we could get a retest of the 96 EMA. Now, of course, as time has gone on, you'll notice that the EMAs are kind of flicking up, right? But we'll go ahead and keep that timestamp in there because that's when I put the lines in. And as I said, I'll go back over to the other channel and see when I gave a heads up on that. So we're trading at 39.9662, up 3.16 on Bitcoin. Let's see if there's any questions anybody has. And if I had really chat, really, I'm just going to go ahead and hit up your YouTube. All right, so you're going to go into infinity if you've still got my work up. I'm not too sure if you're doing that. And then I'll go into Neo. Go into Neo. Uh-oh. No, it's doing that. Get rid of that. Oof, not letting me go in. Get back over there again. It's kind of weird. Let me get rid of my live chat for just a moment. Close off some things. Something is not quite right. Something is not quite right. These BabyPips. Let me get rid of that. And get rid of that. Get rid of some windows left. What's going on? Here's my mumble. Ah, is this your chat? Oh, okay, okay. It's all right. Okay, I've got your chat back up though. Ah, yeah, it's okay. No worries. No worries at all. Okay, so I'm still live, and then how about the framing? Let's see what he has to say. All right, so let me go back over to YouTube and now see if I can pick it up. kind of weird though. Let's see. Why? Ooh, look at you now. Maybe YouTube was doing some stuff. Wow. I can't get into any YouTubes. I can't get into YouTubes. Let me see. Let me go ahead and stop presenting. I'm still broadcasting, but let me stop presenting for just a moment, see what the deal is. Because I've never had that happen. I literally can't get into any YouTubes. YouTube's opening up for me just fine. Okay, there you are there. Are you still, and you're still live. There you are here. Oh, I've got you now. Ooh, that why? It's, you know why? It said that you were offline. That's kind of bizarre, right? Oh, yeah, that's what it's saying. Yeah, and then did you see my struggles trying to even get into the feed? Also, they changed your, what would you say, your show card, whatever it's called. Yeah, but and your broadcasting timer's off. Yeah, but your chat is running. And your chat will run for about 3 minutes. I think for about 3 minutes after you go down. Yeah, you see that you're offline though, right? Now, what you could do is you can let this, it may restore itself. I have seen that before. And YouTube is literally I don't know, but it may. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. So give YouTube just a moment, maybe. I mean, you do whatever you want to, right? But now it's saying stream ended 7 minutes ago, so that's a problem. There's a difference between it saying live stream is offline and the stream ended. But I would let the URL run. I wouldn't start up, I wouldn't power up just yet. I mean, when the chat degrades, then you know that maybe, there's about a 60% chance that the entire stream will be turned off. Here goes the refresh. Ah, good, good, good. Good, good, good. Is this on the replay though? Oh, there's the chat gone down. It says time to find another stream. Sorry, chat is closed. Time to find another stream. Edit and try again. Wow. Well, you just let me know what you want to do. And are you trying to refresh? I mean, I'll just keep. I think I'm broadcasting. Hold on. Let me do screen share so maybe you can see what's going on. I'll go here. I'll share that. I'm just sharing this, guys, so that really can see kind of what happened, what my experience is on my side, so he can see everything. Some kind of nutcakes, though. So do you see that? Even if I have to do test. Ah, there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Your timer's still down. Will you let me know what you want to do? Gosh, that bug of you is just mind-blowing. Every time I look down at that, I'm like, he's right there. Why is he thinking so hard? What's all that about? Oh, there you go. I guess you're done. I guess you're done. All right, well, I'll be back though, okay? I'll be back. All right. I hope that you can work it out. Are you working it out now? You've got my last chart up though, and you're counting down. Okay. You playing around with it? Let's see what happened here. Well, at least I've journaled it, right? I don't know. I'm sure that you can probably better see what happened on your end. But I know sometimes things will happen and then people will go, can you send me a screenshot of that? I'm like, well, I don't really have a screenshot for it. Sometimes I'll have a screenshot and then they still don't believe it. But I think it's interesting too that you can see what I tried to type in the chat. That's kind of social proof. That's what that looks like when your chat goes down and the last person is still trying to get a chat in. All right, love, well, you'll work it out. Let me continue on with my lesson. And for everybody, we're going to go ahead and just keep it on the BTC USD chart. And I'm going to let Really go because I'm sure he's probably got a lot of things to think about, and I don't know what he's going to do because I believe for him it's probably pretty late in the night. But we'll go back over to the BTC USD. I know that I'm covering NEO today, and someone was asking, is it just NEO that you guys wanted me to do? It might be. All right, but anyway, what we'll do during the break is go to the 1 minute. And there we go on the 1 minute. And you can pretty much see where I put this. I gave the heads up at 12:51. So they're about right there. That's where I gave the heads up. But it looked to me as though the trade would definitely retest the 51, which of course it has. Now the trade is being held, what I call being held short or held hostage by the 8 EMA. That's that railroad looking line right there. It's actually the 8 EMA, but there's 2 lines drawn at once. And also you have the 8 and the 12, which are colliding, these are no trade zones. When you have collision, when the 8 hovers over the close, that is considered where we are getting into short territory. When the 8 and the 12 are working sideways, those are no trade zones. And certainly when they're in collision, these are very, very difficult places to define a trade. You have to be very clever, you have to be very witty to know how to balance out the fact that the trade came down to the 51, which is a signal, up against the fact that you've got an 8-12 collision. So very hard to trade this. You have to really know what you're doing, people. All right, so I'll open that up just a little bit. So we've got some white space over here to play with. And what I'll do too maybe is go ahead and I'll put a horizontal gray here because we definitely want to watch the 8 and the 12. Watching the 8 over the 12 EMA. There we go, I'll make this uppercase. Be really careful there. All right, let me take a picture, get it over to my Mumble, and I think what I was going to do is let Really's string go, if you don't mind. Let that go and just show you my chart. Get a picture over to my Mumble because I owe them a chart. Let's see here. We had over at BitMEX, the counterparty USD futures is liquidated a short position, 56,000 contracts. Then a few moments later, another short position of 90,000 contracts. Liquidation of short positions. Need those relays. Meow, meow. We need those relays. All right. Okay, so let me leave my Hangout. Go there, link, link, link. And no, I'm thinking that because of the way prices right now, people are like, BD, I don't want to know about widgets. I don't know. I don't want to know about widgets. I don't know what the hell's going on here. When are we going to break 4,000? Oh, we are. We're almost already there. Why won't it break through? All right. So I will be on mute for just a little bit. As a matter of fact, let me put a text box in that lets you guys know that. So I'm chilling in the chat. Be on mute for a little bit, okay? You want to chat me up in my YouTube chat. Okay, that's Really's chat, but I need my own chat, so hold on. I have to still get it again. Okay, there's Really's. Here's mine. And let me pop it out again. Pop it out. And there we go. Right, I'll X out of that. And viewers, I'm chilling in the chat. I'll be chilling in the chat for a while. On it, chilling in the chat. Rima. There we go. $39.84 is it? Then just round it off. Okay. Keep that up. Keep that up. That works good. Good, 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 good. Check on my Mumble. And leave that snapshot up. And maybe what I'll do is, oh, that's nice. Get my chat up, and then let me put my Mumble chat up here. I think that works out okay. I think. No, where did my Oh, I see. I miss out on that. The text bar has to be up at the top, I think, for me to do this properly. Pretty sure. I'm just working on some things, guys. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about me. There we go. I think I've got it now. I do have to leave the muffled text box the full length and go back to the Hangout to make sure that none of those boxes are coming out. That's pretty good. And I'll go ahead and get my link over to the Mumble. Guys, I will not be talking about the widgets for another 15 minutes or so. There we go on that. Talk to me over in the chat, or you can talk to me in the Mumble, however it is. I'm in both channels. That works out pretty well. You use the pop-out chat for the YouTube, and that way I don't have to monitor the YouTube at all. I just have to believe that I'm actually live. And I might even get a warning on my Hangout if the stream goes down, but I'm not certain about that. And then the Mumble snapshot that they call, if I just narrow it out and make it the full length, it works out pretty well like that. So sorry that there isn't any music. The music thing has never really worked out super well for me. I hope that maybe that will get fixed in the next little few months, just to make sure that I'm using the right music and I have licensing, that I own the licensing to use the music. And let me see, what else? Yeah, I'll be back in a few minutes. Thank you to the watchers that are out there and also to the replay viewers. My last video, I did some indexing if you want to hear what the channel is all about, and also my disclaimer being read. You can go to yesterday's video and listen to that for yourself if you'd like to. And then today we're going to be revisiting the chart widgets, so it should be a good time. It's a second lesson on chart widgets. Okay, putting myself on mute. If there is anyone out there that knows how in the world I can secure the application window from jumping from one view to another, that would be great. I would love to know how to do that. I have not been able to figure that out. It's almost as though, even though it says application window, and I might have 3 or 4 application windows that are open based on the tabs, but it won't fix, it won't anchor to the application window, one application window. So I noticed this yesterday. So I was doing some research, and it immediately took me out of the window that I had selected and took me into, my searches and so forth. That happened yesterday. Now, it's okay. Like, it's not a big deal for me, but when the anticipation is that you just want to be looking at the window that you've selected. So for the Hangouts to jump around like that, I need to fix that, because there's still research that I want to be able to do when I'm going live, but I don't necessarily want to be not only do I not want to be jumping from frame to frame to frame, but I also want to know that I can actually go over to my Twitter, I can go to my TweetDeck, I can go ahead and look up on Yahoo Finance, or I can be over at Cheddar, etc., without it displaying. Now, I could have put it on stop screen sharing, and that would prevent the likely, right? It would prevent all of that altogether. But it would be nice if in the screen share of the Hangout that there was some certainty that the window that I was sharing was actually fixed, and I haven't been able to find out how to exactly do that. Pulling back just a little bit here. No big problems though, exactly. Teeny candle. As I said, we'll be back on the widget talk in a little while. So that's the part. If you guys know anything, make sure that you reach out to me if you have like a quick fix, or if you've experienced it yourself. Remember, I'm the one that's trying to avoid doing the OBS or getting into that field, because there's just people that just know how to do it so much better. And I don't know if I would use all the attributes of OBS, but maybe in this particular case, it would really be helpful to me, because I would have the freedom of selecting the frame that I want to focus on, and then, I don't have to be involved in the crawlers and the other, like I said, the other attributes of OBS. Now, if it's where, I think yesterday I was doing tabs of different charts. The thing is that when you go over to Google, or you're looking into things, or you're sorting things out or sourcing things out, of course, and you go into those open tabs. Just want to see if I can avoid that. Pretty sure I've done it a lot of times, but like I'm keeping the charts down to 1, for example, but if I was to go into BabyPips right now, which I'll do, you'll notice that even though the application window was set to the chart, it's brought me to this application window. So, but we'll keep it on BabyPips for just a little bit, because that's what we're going to be studying in just a couple of moments. This is the babypips.com website, babypips.com. There you go. And this past week, we covered quite a few of the educational modules or lessons under their BabyPips School of Pipsology. We have not taken any of the trading quizzes, because I think I want to do some copy and paste on that. And of course, the Forex glossary we have not gone over. So they have news. They have some trading ideas, education, community, their calendar, their economics calendar, and their rates. And this is where we're studying today, because this is where the widgets are. We know a little bit about this from yesterday. They have a whole block of widgets for currencies, a few commodities, the indices, and guess what? Look at that, cryptocurrencies. However, these are all Kraken products here. They're all Kraken. We'll go ahead and we'll pull up this one here. And I'll make sure that this is exactly what you guys are seeing. And this is their default. You can see that it's on the 1 hour. But just because we can have activity going on, we'll go to the 1 minute. We're going to go ahead and X out of the volume. We'll go ahead and delete the volume, as a matter of fact. And delete the volume. And there is your URL. We will put yesterday we had covered adding 3 different technical analysis. And wasn't really crazy. The pivots, that's right. I think what I had done was I had done standard. Let's see how the high-low pivots come in. Oh, there we go. That works out a lot better. All right. And then we are going to get into each, or as many of these as we can that reside inside of the BabyPips.com education modules. But here, these are the pivots. So you can see the widget itself is pretty robust. Now, it does not keep your material, I believe, unless you're logged in. You may want to give that a try. If you're logged into BabyPips, you might come into the widget and your default is already, sorted out for yourself, or how you've customized it, so that you don't have to re-customize it. And we can go into the format tool, and we could make it so that the font is bigger. We can change the font style. We can have the border color changed. We can have the background changed. We'll change the border color to, let's say, blue. You really can't really see it. And the background color, just, white or gray. And there we go. So you have a lot of things that you can do. We can show or hide. Show or hide. And then you can use inputs. This is the far back that it goes. And style. I think you guys can, you might not be able to see the pop-up when I'm doing the lesson. I think you get to see what I'm doing on the left, but I don't think you get to see what the formatting pop-ups look like. There's nothing too much I can do about that. See, this is also another thing. Maybe OBS picks that up, but the Hangout screen application window doesn't pick it up. I have to check that out. I will put it on the list of things that, we get a lot of questions. When I say we, every trader does. What is a pivot and what does that mean? And how do I do the calculation? You can actually do a pivot calculation yourself. It's a simple Google search. It's a simple calculation if you're not trusting these numbers. Also, if you don't understand why a pivot would be an important number to have in your charts, many times they're used for breakouts. So let's say we're looking at a $4,030 upside breakout. If that was to happen, you'll notice a lot of traders will come in at the 40-30, and the same thing for the shorts. A lot of the short breakdowns, or breaking out of the short, would be at 39.72. So that's the simplest way that I can explain to you about pivots. On a bigger chart, we'll go to the 30-minute. There are the pivots on 30-minute. So the emotional pivot low is 3,700. So that would be your support line. This is also a great way of establishing where you would put support and resistance. So support is at 3,700, resistance at 42.32. Pretty nice range there, 3,700 to 42.32. On the hourly bar, we have not printed a pivot high yet, not yet anyway, on the hourly bar. However, we do know generally where it might be at 42.32, but it is not printed yet. But 3,700 has been printed not only in the 30-minute pivot, but the 1 hour. I'll go back to the 1 minute. And we'll scroll back a little bit here. Just remember, this is in the 1 minute. Lots of pivots, as there would be. Okay, so yesterday we talked a lot about all the different things that you can do. These are all the defaults, right? And how they have favorited certain things in the BabyPips. Also, that we can change this to, for example, the XPT EUR is inside of the BabyPips is. And of course, it defaults originally just to the plain vanilla default that they have. Okay, you notice, and you might not see this actually when we're viewing this, but in the center, you'll notice that there's a throwback bar. There's a minus, which is also the same thing. Throws you back, throws you back, throws you back, gives you a bigger view, more bars, more time, or you can reset. And it takes you back to the default. Same thing, you can increase your visual so you can get a tighter look. And you can also move it forward in case you're looking for white space because you're drawing or you're trying to do some projections. And you hit the reset bar, and there you go on that. I don't think we can change the date. I mean, the way that you see the time. The time is on UTC. Let me see what else it gives you. You know that it's coming from TradingView, and you're reminded down here on the left-hand side that it's the XPT EUR. We'll go back over to the XPT. This is the only place that you can change the name of the chart to, by the way, is up at the URL. You do not have, when I take you back over to the TradingView, when we do that, you can change it from, well, let me open this up. Hold on just a moment. Symbol info. Yeah, it's not, I don't think we can change it from up here. We can do a compare like we did yesterday. And we're showing the countdown. That's the countdown clock, which is this area over here. It gives you the price line, the current price, and the countdown clock. But I don't think we can go ahead and get out of the volume. Yeah, I believe the compare was the only way that we could see another pair. Go back to the 1 minute. All right, let's see if there's any questions that you have about the chart widget, because we've talked about the picture and the pop-out, right? It's going to open it up. And this will actually be the embed, the widget embed from TradingView. So there's a little bit more that you can do up here. You can take it to your own website and that sort of thing. And I will put all of the links in the description box. Also follow me over at Google+. I do a lot more kind of open journaling on Google+, and a lot more less now on Twitter, and more on Google+, actually. So here's the link. That is the full embed link over at Google+. If you're into that sort of thing, and it teaches you, you know, the width and is the background white or black or etc. It's actually pretty neat because we can change the theme if we wanted to. And we'll go into more different things like that, like what's in that embed, how many different things can we do inside of the embed if you were to decide to take it over to your own website. But because we're doing all BabyPips, we'll keep it on BabyPips. All right, as we scroll down on the widget page, remember rates, and then you're in your widget, you'll actually get the news and insights for the XBT USD. And more than likely, they probably have 1,000 tags for all of the cryptocurrencies. So you may be getting the most current news, like this was 3 months ago, 2 months ago, a month ago, 2 months ago, you know, and of course you guys know how this all works. Like that's way late news, and isn't really going to be helping you out too much, but at least you get something. And you should be reading at least 5 news stories a day about any instrument that you're involved in. And don't get used to just following one particular media outlet. You should be really looking at least 5 articles a day that are written, both academic articles, new books that are out, new videos. You have to have touch points with your media outlets for sure. Do not discount what is happening in the social channels, and especially social media. Okay. Come back over here and see what we're doing. Let me go ahead and see. Okay, let's go back over to how things are going on the BTC USD. Check and make sure that you guys got to see that fine. And we will be chilling a little bit in the chat for just a little bit here. And I'll be on mute. I will be on mute. Okay, guys. So anyway, really is back up and going. That's so fantastic. And I don't know, maybe he'll share a little bit later about what's going on. I'll be chilling in my own chat for just a little bit and figure out where I kind of want to take you next with the widget. Do we want to be lifted up off of BabyPips so that I can kind of give you a little bit more on what you can do over at TradingView? Or maybe we can do a little bit of a deep dive on the URL so that you can kind of do some more customization on your widget yourself. So we'll see what you guys want to do and how that all feels. The trade right now is at 39.6721, up 2.41% on the day. We've given ourselves some boundary lines. We're looking at the 8 and 12 EMA, holding the trade short right now, and as it bounced off of the 51 EMA. So it looks pretty much like it is what's called a range bound, or being very stubborn, that it's not yet ready to hold and latch on to 4,000. So we will see how it goes. I'm just going to relax a little bit on kind of the stream, just kind of come on mic back and forth during the day, and instead of trying to power down and power up and power back down again. I think it's just a little bit easier if we just kind of stay live for the next couple of hours. Thanks, guys.